Okay, let's do this. So let's ignore the bulls for right now and focus on Pearl and Dolly. So, in my opinion, Pearl and Dolly seem to be the most dominant cows because we've seen them fight with even other cows multiple times. Like Pearl's fought with Moses, she's fought with Jolly, Dolly's fought with Marilyn a couple times, and we've seen them fight. But I want to focus on them. I kind of figured that they would go head to head in this whole reintroduction, but I didn't see who started it. But you can see they're both pushing and shoving, and Dolly pushes Pearl backwards. Ignore Tex and Jolly. I'll get to them in a minute. Uh, Dolly pushes Pearl back here in a second. Yep. Pushes Pearl back, and then Dolly actually gets her hooks her horn, or bumps her head against the metal pole. That couldn't have felt great, but seemed to give Pearl a little bit to recover, and then they're back to it. And Dolly pushes Pearl back here, and then Pearl gets underneath her and turns her around, and Dolly gives up. Yeah, so Pearl won that one. So Pearl might be herd queen at this point. Alright, now let's get to the bulls. Here they go, squaring up, and then they each try to hook each other underneath each other's neck. Tex does a good job of blocking Jolly from doing that. And they sort of jostle horns here a bit. Then Tex pushes Jolly back a bit. Right. Sort of going in circles, trying to push the other one in a certain direction. Here, I'll zoom in. Other cows running around, all excited, trying to figure out where they stand in the pecking order and just enjoying being in a new pasture or being back in their original pasture. But Tex pushes Jolly back, and they sort of trip on this bucket or whatever this thing is. Looks like a bucket. I think it's the dewormer bucket thing. But yeah, Tex dominates most of this fight just because he's heavier than Jolly is. Jolly has longer horns and thicker horns, I think, but Tex is heavier and is able to push Jolly around. Chuck bucking, he's excited by all the things going on. Tex and Jolly still in the same place, neither pushing the other at this point. I think Jolly tries to push, but Tex just makes it so that they spin. I think Jolly had a little trip there, possibly. It's kind of hard to see everything with all the cows in the way, but yeah. Okay, and then I wanted people to notice tension between Loretta and Charlene here. That'll continue. And I think they actually hook up and get into a fight there. I think that's where that started. Tex and Jolly pushing, and then Jolly gives up. And at this point, Jolly's done fighting, and he is purely in flight. Like, he wants out. Notice he runs straight back toward the gate, because he knows where he came in at. He goes straight back to the gate. Sees that there's no exit, and respects Lester, which is a good thing. And then he tries to go for the fence, realizes the fence is sturdy. And I don't know if he tried or thought he could try to get through that little hole, but he doesn't try it. But yeah, he's going along the fence now, looking for a way out. That's exactly what he's doing. He's looking for a way to get as far away from Tex as possible. Then there's Loretta and Charlene. Loretta's winning, actually. Yeah. It's good to see Loretta getting confidence, taking after her mama, which is Dolly. And yep, Loretta won that little bout, chased Charlene off. Here's Jolly being chased by Tex and Santana. Oh, there's Loretta and Charlene again, still going at it. And then again, here's Jolly being chased by Santana and Tex, and then come all the little calves to enjoy the chaos and watch and learn how all of these dynamics play out. Here comes Tex, and what Tex does here, I think, is go around, and what he's going to do is check all of the new females into the pasture, if they're bred or not, make sure that he hasn't been in with them, so he's going to go around and check all the females to see if they're receptive to him, which they shouldn't be, because they should have been bred by Jolly up front. If you notice in the background, I'll get to Gracie and Reba here in a second, but if you look in the background, Loretta and Charlene are trying to fight around the pole. I think Charlene's trying to duck around the pole so Loretta can't charge at her. That's funny. Yeah. I was a little surprised when Reba and Gracie got into it. Like, Gracie's usually been quite a calm and laid back cow most of the time. But, yeah. Yeah. And so is Reba. Like, we haven't seen these two lock horns with anybody mostly. Yeah, everybody's seems to have calmed down a bit, minus the couple cows that are still hooking horns with one another. But yeah, I think it's here they go. I've got it in slow motion, so I have time to talk if I need it. Yeah, seemed to take a bit of a breather there. Reba takes a step back. Gracie takes advantage and moves forward. She's definitely Tex's daughter, through and through. Reba gets pushed back. Yeah. This has nothing to do with breeding or anything. This is just to figure out the pecking order. Who's going to be higher than who. And in the background you can see Loretta push Charlene back. Yeah. Reba turns Gracie around. Gracie makes a big push here. You can see her like almost running in stride, pushing Reba back. I always find it impressive how the cows can turn around if they're being pushed and not run into something or run off uneven ground. They can turn around. I'm always marveled at that. Ooh, Gracie slipped there, I think. They push and shove back and forth. Mad Maddie watching. And Duke watching his mama, probably cheering her on too. Then Dolly comes in. I don't think Dolly actually does a whole lot in that exchange. I think she does hook at Gracie a little bit, but if you'll see, Reba was already sort of in the winning streak there. I don't know. But yeah. Alright, let's get to this now. Jolly and Tex going into it here. Jolly comes in under the fence and digs with his horns. That's a way of cows displaying. Digs into the earth, tries to kick up dust. Then he walks up, and Tex comes to meet him, and Jolly walks in, swaying his horns, and Tex shuts him down. Nope, you're not going to come in here and fight again. I think what Tex does here really smart. If you saw, he actually used the full length of his horn and the pointy end to like hold Jolly away at a certain distance away from him, so Jolly couldn't push forward, or he was just going to push straight into the spike of Tex's horn. So Jolly respects Tex. Tex showing his side to Jolly here. Jolly walks around. I think he's gonna here. That's Marilyn walking around, I think. Marilyn or Santana, I can't see the sides of them right now. Here comes Charlene. And Tex kind of, here comes Jolly, kicking up dust, displaying for the girls, I think. This is more bluff than anything else, I think. Him just showing he's still tough. He's not a wimp. But, yeah, I think he's just bluffing at this point. Here's Chuck digging up as well. I think this could either just be him releasing tension and excitement, just a way of releasing that tense energy. Yeah. Jolly walks around among the cows. And I think Tex follows Jolly just to make sure he's actually done. I think Jolly's done fighting or anything. I don't think he's going to try to challenge Tex anymore. I don't think he intended to anymore. Tex just wants to be sure and follows him. Yeah. Pretty peaceful as of right now. No more fighting. They're done fighting. They've already settled that. Yeah. They're just gonna live in the same pasture. Okay, let's talk about this. So, see Jolly rubbing up against the tree, and what I think he's doing is like how when a person wants to fight but can't, they will, instead of going and fighting somebody, they will punch on a punching bag or punch a wall and release that frustration without causing damage. Yeah, like how instead of going, if you want to fight somebody, instead of that you can't win against, you beat up on a punching bag or you get angry and you punch a wall. That is something I feel like we could equate this to, if that makes sense. And we've seen Waylon do this in the past, where he couldn't fight Tex, but instead he would mess up Lester's water troughs, push them down the hill, or he would push the culvert around. Like, we've seen the same behavior in bulls before. But we've seen them, if they can't go win a fight, they will beat up on inanimate objects. So yeah, it's just an interesting behavior and something that I can equate to us humans doing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. See you on the next one. Bye.